TC Title Guy Podcast, episode 11. Wow. Is that right? No, 12. Episode 12? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's something like that. I got a bunch of stuff coming up here in the near future. If you don't think that podcasts can really grow your business, you're wrong. Class coming out on the 18th. About a new realtor reached out to me from Wexford County wanting to be a part of that class, which is fantastic. I'm meeting with new people. You catch my drift. Okay, episode 2 or 3, I interviewed somebody, and now we do business transactions. You catch my drift. New realtor reached out to me the other day. Hey, I want to be on your podcast, man. Don't do business with him yet. Hopefully in the future, wants to go shoot a podcast out ice fishing. Okay, if you think all I do is fish and hunt, it's because that's what I do. Shout out to Matt and Nikki Indish, first inspection company on the TC Title Guy Podcast. MI Homes North, local, Traverse City, Grand Traverse County, Northwest Michigan. We're going to talk with them today on the episode. I'm really excited about this episode because guess what? It's not all about, clients. It's about influencers, right? If you know sales, okay, influencers are very important too. And what I mean by that is don't be afraid to get this mic right up in your grill there when you guys talk, just because these mics, it's a cheap DIY podcast kit. But the really nice thing about influencers is this, okay? I have people that don't send me deals, even though they could, but they have a relationship with another title company. But guess what they do? They introduce me to realtors or other people. That could be what Nikki and Matt are for me. They're on my show. They talk about their business, what they do differently than everybody else. By the way, if you are another inspection company, you are more than welcome to be on the show. It's not like I interview a realtor or a lender and then they're not allowed to have other realtors or lenders on the show. We're just going to talk with Matt and Nikki today. First. And you know what? A shout out to MI Home Pros. QR code right on the bottom of their card directs them to their website, which probably goes to links to all their social platforms, I'm assuming.
It does indeed.
That is fantastic because that's what I preach all the time. If you don't have QR codes on the bottom of your card, you're really, really missing out because people don't want to type in a URL. They don't want to type in MI Homes North, even though it's not that hard. But there's, I just think it's a really easy thing to do and, have that on the bottom of your card. And it doesn't have to be very big. I mean, it's only like, look how big that is. Anyway, Matt and Nikki Indish on the TC Title Guy Podcast today. Welcome. Thank you for coming and being here in the what do we call this? The Closing Room B Studios.
Thanks for having us, man.
You can't hear, but it's laughter. Anyways, so, my first question would is why did you guys reach out?
I think we both just enjoy your content.
I appreciate that.
We've independently, each of us have caught your content and both ended up following you independent of each other without ever talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So randomly one day, like, you just say, hey, do you know Alex Syker, the TC title guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it,
Yeah, stuff. That was exactly how that worked.
Cool, yeah. Man. On Facebook or on YouTube?
I think both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Why this stuff works for business, you could literally, I sit down with agents and I'm like, hey, often do you follow up with people? Oh, 2 weeks, 3 months, 6 months. That's fantastic. Great. That's awesome. But what if you're able to do it every single day? Be pleasantly persistent, front of mind without annoying them. Get them on your socials and you don't have time to call people all the time, right? Get them on your socials, post content. That's how you stay front of mind with them. That's how I do business. I got people reach out to me 2 or 3 years later. Hey, I'm finally buying a house, or I know somebody buying a house, right? Like,
it's a touch.
Same thing for you guys.
It's a touch that's a whole lot easier to do than independently having to reach out to each individual.
Right. You're being pleasantly persistent, not annoying.
That's it.
Right.
You can scroll right on past too.
Exactly.
That's not the day for it.
Exactly. And that's a nice thing. That brings up a good point. Like, if I'm talking too much, and I've already been with you that day. Oh, there's Alex again. Just swipe me. Get rid of me, right? Turn me off. In your opinion, the number one inspection company in Traverse City, what do you guys do differently in the industry that sets you apart, number one?
I mean, I think the first thing would be just direct. We are a one-call answer. We're a one-call solution.
Do you find communication issues in general? Because I deal with communications in general all the time with title companies and with real estate professionals in general, whether that be a realtor or a lender. And so, do you find that it is a communication issue with inspection companies as well?
Um,
Without bashing or saying names.
He's handing me the microphone because I talk to people on the phone most of the time.
Okay.
He's out in the field doing the inspections, and most of the time I'll field phone calls from people.
So you're doing some back-end admin stuff while also doing some of the hard work as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to say admin work isn't hard.
No, I get it.
That was the hard work.
I would say the most common thing, communications are probably people's biggest struggle. People look for good customer service, but they also don't want to make 4 phone calls to get what they perceive as one inspection, right? They need their house inspected, but they also need 3 different things for lender requirements. If they're doing an FHA loan, they don't want to call 4 different companies to do those things. They want one company. And so we had a similar experience before buying a home a handful of years ago. And so that was something that we really tried to focus on, is getting more certification so that we could be a one-stop shop. Hoping that people would just make one phone call and we could coordinate all those logistics for them.
And how are you getting this out to the public with all these newer certifications?
I mean, some of them we've had for quite a few years.
Yeah.
Some of them are newer within the last.
How are
year
you?
and a half.
How are you publicizing that and getting out there? Because what I mean is like you're interested in starting your own podcast, which is fantastic, and we could talk about that, doing that on my class. I just talked about that thing. I said the 18th of this month, how to create a professional podcast for real estate. But are you posting video content on this kind of stuff, or other than just pamphlets?
Yes.
Not saying pamphlets aren't good and all.
No, but a lot of times people don't take the time to read them, right? It doesn't capture a lot of it. Some of it's social media posts. Some of it's connecting with people through individual messages. Some of it is just on our website. Some of it's, so our main inspection certifications are through InterNACHI, and so we've got profiles with them.
InterNACHI.
Yeah, and then we do search engine optimization like a lot of people do. And so some of the keywords like air quality and radon testing and things like that with our certifications come up when people search for
So if I Google inspection companies in Traverse City, I would hope you guys would be up there at the top of the
We
list.
hope so too, but yes, we'll be up there.
You should be.
Yeah.
You should be. If you're not, we can work on that.
Right.
Yep.
So I one thing that I do, and I have to give kudos to you guys. I've never met Matt and Nikki before, mind you. I've heard of them. Some of my clients work with them. And one thing I have to give you kudos that I do is I surf Facebook, okay? And sometimes I worry what people think when I'm doing it and when I'm sitting in a room full of realtors in a meeting and I'm on my phone. But I'm working, okay? I might be looking. I'm looking for Michigan football stuff or whatever. I do scroll past that stuff. But what I'm looking for is listings that go live to ask out for prelim, or I'm looking for anything that sparks my attention to help somebody out with, whatever. Because I have a lot of realtor friends and lender friends on Facebook. And one thing that you guys do, and I've seen this, is comment to realtors that sometimes I'm in that conversation as well.
Yep.
And kudos to you for doing that. Because that's another way to stay top of mind. You know what I mean? And I really had to give that kind of plug for you guys. So
We appreciate it. The reality of this industry is that you can do business with people a single time, and that's great.
Right.
But why not build a relationship?
Right.
Like a real one.
Right.
Have real conversations,
Right.
Like if you build a real relationship, you're not getting a call for one job.
And I mean, I could tell you what my perception on a real relationship is, but what is your perception on a real relationship?
I mean, based on real stuff. Somebody that actually knows you. You share your genuine you. It's not. I wouldn't say it's an unprofessional relationship, but it does include some of your personal life as well. A lot of the folks that we do business with, they'll ask, "Hey, how's Calvin doing? How's your little guy doing?" Or,
Right.
They'll ask, "Hey, what about whatever project you were working on?" So, you share some of the personal stuff you're doing as well.
Right.
Well, and they call too, not just when they need inspection advice or when they need to book an appointment. They'll call when they feel like it's something we could give them advice on. Hey, we have this weird water quality issue, or whatever. Like, they'll call us for help because they trust our opinion on things when they run into some personal situation that, they don't feel like they're wasting our time because they're not going to book an appointment, but because they trust us as people, which is really what we hope to build.
Yeah, our primary goal is to be a community asset. We want to do good in the community. So to have this knowledge and not share it would be ridiculous. You know, if we can help people, whether we're inspecting for you today or whether it's somebody we inspected for 6 months that now has a question about their house.
Yeah.
We're happy to help.
Yep.
Why not help people?
So from my perspective, I worry too much. I do. It's a flaw that I have, and I apologize if I come across like in a bad mood sometimes or whatever. But here's my perspective. On what we were just talking about when it comes to beyond the closing table money aspect kind of thing. And what I mean by that is yeah, I'm after your deals. Okay, they're after your inspection deals, right? But this is the truth. We genuinely care about the individual in the transaction. Like, I'm gonna follow up with you, and like, yeah, I'm like, I'm out here to like, obviously earn business transactions, right? Because I'm not here to just be put in the friend zone, right? I want to do deals, right? I want to close transactions together. I want to help you grow. Whatever. We don't need to talk about all my marketing strategies and stuff like that. But I literally, and I'm being authentic here, and I think Nikki and Matt can attest to this. We genuinely care about our clients. We do, as individuals, outside of real estate. And so if I ask you, like, for a prelim title, whatever, but then I text you right afterwards, how are you? That's the truth. I'm being authentic, and I don't know else how to say it other than just that. Like,
Yeah.
can you comment on that?
I think that's something that folks recognize over time. I've done the same thing where it might be a business thing first, and then I'll follow up and be like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, how did that resolve?
Right.
Or whatever the situation is. But I think repetition.
Yeah.
People start
And guess what? Yeah, these guys are going to potentially be influencers for me. I'm going to take them fishing. Okay? They introduce me to realtors, and they come to my classes or whatever, and we do business transaction. Like, yeah, they're not directly sending me business unless you need title services in the future. I would love to do business with you that way. But like, as far as when it comes to, like, I entertain my influencers, right? It's not just about the entertaining the agents and stuff like that. So I genuinely care about their business. I'm going to pour into them. I'm going to refer business to them when it comes to inspection companies going forward. I do have other ones I would recommend as well that are fantastic, and there are other ones that they're probably the same ones that you guys would recommend as well.
I was going to say, there's days that we're full that people need somebody to inspect.
Right.
That's the day.
Right.
We have people we send them to as well.
Right. I want to talk about how the perception on inspectors can be like the term deal breakers. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you guys deal with this day in, day out, and it's really sad. And maybe even title companies could get this perception sometimes of being deal breakers. But what are you seeing when it comes to that? Maybe share some scenarios and how you've combated that. Why maybe not specifically, I guess, generalized statement of why inspectors are perceived that way. Why is that not true? And then additional to that, why is your company specifically not a quote unquote deal breaker? That's a lot, but go ahead.
It really isn't. It all boils down pretty simply. The type of human who is a good home inspector is not great at then communicating their findings. That is what we find 90% of the time.
So let's talk about that without saying names.
Yep.
Tell me about other companies that you've had to pick up slack from, or whatever you want to call it, that you've dealt with, that I deal with this and with title as well. So go ahead.
I'll be honest, man. I'll leave those situations out of it because those are messy.
I got you.
But what I will tell you is we hear on a normal basis from folks who have had inspections previously on other homes and they're like, oh, our inspector wasn't this thorough. Our inspector didn't do this. Hey, this is what we ran into with them. And there are going to be issues. There's issues with every home.
Even new builds.
Absolutely. We had a new build 3 summers ago that when I popped the attic space, which had never been opened, it had $80,000 in mold remediation needing to be done.
Oh my gosh.
It was sealed up and it was still moist apparently from rain, and the entire attic was full of mold.
Oh.
Builder jumped right on it, took care of it. They didn't even have their certificate of occupancy yet.
Oh, good.
I couldn't say more about the builder and the way he handled it.
Fantastic.
That was amazing.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So we talked about communication, right? I think a lot of times the personality type that ends up being home inspectors tends to be very technical and detail oriented. Most of the time.
So let's stop right there. What my perception, putting in ourself in our audience's shoes, and what that means is they aren't very good at communicating. Back to your point, they're not as much of a people person, whereas you guys are more people. But you also know how to inspect homes.
I think that's a fair statement, and that's really what we've tried to focus on, because a lot of times you read an inspection report and then try to ask questions about it. A lot of inspectors tend to be, well, this is what I found. This is factual, right? There are certain ways that you can communicate information, especially to people who are very nervous in their home buying situation, or they're a first-time home buyer. They don't know how big of a deal something is or isn't. There are certain ways that you can communicate information to people to make them feel better or help them understand what it is that you found in the house, so that you aren't perceived as necessarily a deal killer. And that's, whether that is somebody's opinion or not, is fine. That's okay.
The home tells the story. All we do is interpret it so that folks that don't speak home can understand.
And you're not going to please everyone, right? But at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the person buying that home and what there could potentially be accruing from buying and investing in this property, new or old.
Right. And we're there to serve the client, right? They paid us for a service. So we complete the service to the quality level that we feel comfortable with and ensure that they get the information they need to feel comfortable with their investment.
We have a great group of realtors that we work with. We really focus every morning when we get up. We just look. We're like, okay, be good humans. That's it. That's the goal of the day. Be a good human. And we've really gathered a group of realtors that we work with that really work the same way. If I go back to one of my realtors, I'm like, hey, this is what I found in your listing. They're not happy. Nobody wants to hear about a hurdle in the project.
Right.
Trying to get through the process. Nobody wants to hear about a hurdle in the process. But it's there. Whatever it is.
So if you're a real estate agent and you want to work with MI Homes North Inspections, MI Home Pros, that's a builder I work with. MI Homes North Inspections with Nikki and Matt Indish, you can feel comfortable knowing that when tough conversations are coming, they're going to know how to communicate that to you from a personal standpoint. There might be some people that you probably work with that are like, just give it to me. And other people are going to be like, let's step back for a second, kind of thing. I don't know how to say it. You know what I mean?
Well, and
you're probably thinking of individuals right now I can see it in your face.
Yeah.
A lot of the differences in those buyers are the difference between a new first-time home buyer, somebody who's very nervous about what they're doing. They've never made a purchase of this size. You've got folks that are upsizing, downsizing, and you've got people that are just buying investment properties. And the difference in the comfort levels and all of these things are different as you go through these groups. Your first-time home buyers, I love to have them with us. I can walk through everything in that home. Anything that's a concern, I can walk through maintenance items with them. I can point out, hey, here's where the filter in your refrigerator goes. We'll have that model number on there for you. You'll be able to pull your filter number right here. You order these every 2 months or 3 months, whatever it happens to be. But we can go to that level of detail if we've got that buyer right there with us.
That brings up an interesting conversation. I don't think I need a filter for my refrigerator. I don't have a ice machine.
Okay.
I do, but I don't use it. So talk about that.
I mean, if you're...
Sorry, this is for me personally, but
if you've got a water dispenser in your refrigerator...
I don't.
Yeah, water dispenser or ice, most of them have a filter.
But I don't need a filter. Okay,
you're not
because I'm pretty
using
sure
it-
Google AI told me correctly, but I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
check with the professionals.
Good idea.
Yeah, if you're not using it, no big deal.
So, are you gonna pick up the phone for those random questions, even though you're not getting paid on them?
We
Yes.
do.
Okay, good.
We prefer text, but yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we will shoot you texts back in between the inspections we're doing. When I'm crawling out of an attic, I will respond and talk to you about that crack in your foundation. No problem.
I got you. So my next question is what's in store for the future for MI Homes North inspections? What's the plan going forward? What are you potentially working on? What are you guys looking to do to grow? Like what's the plan? What is your scope like for coverage area? Because I've had those questions too. Hey, I'm looking. I don't know if this was a while ago, but somebody asked me, "Hey, I'm looking for an inspector that goes out to Wexford, not Wexford. It was like Roscommon, my point is just like, so what's your scope? What's the plan going forward for MI Homes North inspections?
Yeah, so we cover a giant area. We cover from Wexford all the way up to Emmett and basically over to 75. Those outside areas less come summer because we are really busy here locally.
How big is your staff?
I
You're
mean,
looking
right now
at-
you're looking at our
Okay,
staff.
okay. Are you
Yep.
looking to hire currently?
We are. Yep.
Okay. Okay, and you're looking for licensed individuals, obviously. Or you're looking for admin? Maybe then Nikki could get out in the field more? What are you looking for?
So here in the state of Michigan, there is no licensing for home inspectors.
Oh,
We are a certified state.
okay.
We actually prefer to bring somebody in and have them do their training with us.
Okay.
That way we can do field training as well.
This is the MI Homes North inspection way.
There we go. Well, I mean that way we can trust when somebody's in the field that somebody's getting the similar experience as if we were there.
I know a guy. I'm gonna hit him up. He's like interested in like starting his own business eventually, but like he's interested in home inspections, and I'm gonna say, hey, look, man, like go and meet Matt and Nikki, and start over there. They're gonna start you from ground one. So it's fantastic to get somebody that's from with experience and stuff like that. But you're looking for somebody like greenhorn
Yes.
inspectors.
Yes.
We really are.
That's
We really
awesome.
are. Somebody that's been around the trades, experienced in the trades, has the knowledge. in
Yeah,
one way or another,
X
and-
building construction
Something.
stuff like that. I got you.
Yeah, something.
Landscaping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I'm
got
not
you.
picky. They're just familiar with how to behave in front of clients at their home.
Yeah, and so
That can be a
that's
big deal.
that's a huge deal, especially with you're dealing with tricky conversations. You got to be
Absolutely.
the MI Homes North way communicating to people, reading the room, new home buyers, whatever, or just what, dude, just lay it on me kind of thing, right?
Yeah, you run into your investors. It's basically, hey, just bang it out.
Right. Yeah.
Give me the list.
Yep.
I'll run down the list. Thanks. We don't hear back from them or anything. It's just a report goes out. And you rarely even get a question back.
Yep. And then any plans going forward for growth or anything like that you can speak of?
I mean, we are trying to do a slow build. It hasn't worked. We scramble all summer just as hard as we can run, and even through the slower time of the year now, we're still 3/4 of our schedule is full right now. So,
Even through January?
yeah.
Really? Okay. And with the amount of snow we've been having recently, it probably hasn't been I hit a sore spot.
We just finished a time of transfer inspection in Grand Traverse County with the
Yes.
with the Grand Traverse
with the water.
yes
Yeah, and within the well. What is that? Talk about that.
within 300 feet of a surface water in Grand Traverse County. It's starting January 1st. If you are selling your home, you have to have this inspection completed. It is a well and septic inspection, and we go through every step basically possible. It is definitely a quality inspection that they have outlined.
And why is that? There was obviously some issues.
I mean,
That doesn't just come out of the woodwork unless there was another issues in another county. But
yeah, I can't speak to Grand Traverse. We haven't found anything crazy in Grand Traverse.
yeah, but Wexford had some PFAS stuff.
Wexford has some PFAS. There's PFAS around. The I think the real reason we're doing this now is specifically for the kind of stuff we've run into in other counties.
I got you.
I found a buried
you.
car as a septic system.
Wait. Back up a second there, Matt. What?
Yep, I found a car that was buried out near a river. It was within about 50 feet of a river. They had dug a hole. They had run the piping out of the building underground and in the windshield, and then smashed the roof of the car down around the pipe, and everything was just running out of the cabin and into the car.
Oh,
It wasn't sealed in any way. It was then buried.
so they. Okay, sorry for the pause, but so they. Okay, all right. I'm trying to decipher what just happened just now. The conversation I just had. What's that, Nikki?
We have good stories.
I'm like, wow. Like, I was gonna ask you, like, have you ever had any crazy things? But I guess that's probably pretty crazy. So they purposely, you could tell that and then they buried it. They're just being lazy.
That's what they intended to. And had used.
So it's not like the damn car was down there.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope. They dug a hole, pushed a car into it. I mean, tires were still on it. Dug a hole, pushed a car into it, ran the piping into it, smashed the hood or the roof down.
Do you think it could have just been because they're trying to hide something, or they're like trying to like hold the pipe up, or like what's the reasoning there? I don't quite understand that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you could come up like over like drinks like one day, like a bunch
Right.
of like crazy stories about why somebody would do that, right?
Yep.
Like,
Absolutely. You start looking into the whys, you'll lose your mind, because why would anybody do that to start with?
Well, and they're not all that crazy, right? But I mean, it's one of several reasons why there's a point of sale or a time of transfer process, because there should be some kind of disclosure. A lot of people don't necessarily agree with it. I think from what I've heard from sellers and buyers both, hey, the system is fine. It was permitted. It was installed. That's great. For probably 90% of the properties that there are records on, awesome. In which case, it's just a disclosure between the seller and the buyer that, hey, the septic and the well is in great working order. Perfect.
But you've got a car that's 50 feet down.
Exactly. And so if you have one of these crazy one-off situations, then it probably needs to be remedied before
did you
this
dig it
person
up?
buys the house.
Like, how'd you find it?
Well, we use a probe to try to find the concrete tank, and we weren't finding anything concrete, and that was the only thing solid we were
I
finding.
found a steering wheel.
Well, so I dug a hole.
I found a hanging like one of those those hula the
Right.
what are those
The little hula
I'm trying to be
skirt.
no, I'm trying to be funny. The Hawaiian. God, this is terrible. I can't even say a joke. I found a Christmas tree on the rearview mirror.
I dug up. I found the hood, and recognized it as a hood. I'm like, this is a car. And I dug up a little further, and I got to the window and saw where the
You
pipe
found the
was
fuzzy
going.
You found the fuzzy dice
Right.
balls hanging from the rearview mirror. There you go.
Yep, right around the pipe going in. Yep.
It's so, I mean, not all the stories are that crazy, but it's not been that many months since we got a call about, hey, can you come do a point of sale inspection? By the way, my septic tank is a 50-gallon drum.
Yep.
And they knew that. And so, we do run into crazy situations like that sometimes. So while a lot of people disagree with the process, it's not a terrible idea.
For every, call it 75 to 100 of these that we do in the course of a year, we'll run into somebody in 75 to 100. We'll run into somebody that says, well, the system was installed 30 years ago.
And I never had a problem with it.
I've never had a problem, and I've never pumped it. I can't get there from here. I can't get you a pass. You've got solids in the drain field.
So that brings up a good question. Like I used Williams and Bay, and they pumped my stuff, and they're like, it really wasn't like that full. It was like three, like like they say every 5 years or something like that, depending on like if you have a garbage disposal and all this kind of stuff. Like I don't remember what I was gonna ask, but like maybe I worry too much. But like what am I trying to? I can't remember what I was gonna say. Sorry.
The standard is every 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's going to
depending on your family size and if you have a garbage disposal, kind of stuff like that.
Family size, garbage disposal, no wipes. No.
Oh yeah, that was my question.
Yeah.
Oh no, yes, don't throw baby wipes down there, and I know that because I've got wipes, 3 of them.
No flushable wipes.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as a flushable wipe.
Yeah.
Sure, it flushes.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
That was my question. So how do you? Can you reach out to like all the septic companies around locally, like, and find out when your last, like, I bought a home, like, and I didn't know how long it had been, or never did I think to reach out to these companies. But is there a way you can do that and spend oh yeah, dude, it's only been like 6 months. Like, don't like get it pumped again. Like you're just wasting money. Like, is there companies you can reach? Like, how do you do that?
A lot of times.
Did I just convey that correctly to our audience?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of times, those records will be there, and you can call, and it's the luck of the draw finding the company that pumped your system.
Yeah.
I always recommend to our buyers, hey, ask when it was last pumped and who it was that pumped it. That way, hey, if it's been a couple years,
I gotta give a shout out to Williams and Bay.
Yeah.
They did awesome. And then they're like, oh yeah, you could dig the hole or whatever. I'm like, dude, I don't want to dig the hole.
Yeah.
Like, what if I hit something and it like break whatever? Like, I don't know what could happen to find the cap that they, whatever. And what they did was they came out, and I'm not trying to take away from your guys' business, but they put a tarp down because they had a bunch of pea gravel or whatever. Yep. They put it on the tarp separately from the dirt. Then they put the dirt back on it, and then they put the pea gravel on it, and it looks exactly the same the way I had it before. Like, if it would have been me, I would have been like mixing the dirt and the pea gravel together, like. Right. And it was like $60 additional. I'm like, oh god, way worth it.
Way worth it. Yep.
So, shout out to you, Williams Bay. And if you ever want to be on the show, you're more than welcome. And is there anything else you guys want to talk about your business when it comes to separating yourself differently? Like, was there anything like you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about in the show, cover already?
I mean, we lean into technology.
Talk to me about that, because I do too.
Yeah, we lean into technology. Nikki has had an entire career in IT.
Okay.
And so all along I've brought her problems. Here's something that is a pain in my butt. Here's something that I just bang my head against the wall trying to do. And she comes up with an amazing solution that takes a third of the time and is far easier. And so, we talked about the inability to get under some of these homes. I'm a big dude. Like,
How tall are you, Matt?
I'm 6'3".
Okay.
I'm 6'3", and I carry around a lot of me. I'm a big dude, and trying to fit into some of these crawl spaces, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
It's not going to take place.
Yeah.
And so we got a crawl space robot.
Built
a crawl space.
Do you have a photo I could put right up here of that? Look at this thing. Where is it?
Hard to see.
Oh, it's hard to see it.
On the back.
Hang on a second.
On the back page, right there.
Where?
On the back page.
Yeah. Bigger picture.
Yep, a little bit bigger.
Check that out. A crawl space robot. Does any of your competitors have that? Do your competitors have that?
None that I've seen.
You built this.
She built this.
Yeah.
You built this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Was it a labor of love, pain in the butt?
Also, yes. No, it was.
Another reason why you should go with these guys. Crawl space robots.
Crawl space robots.
Simplifying your life too, so you don't have to get under there.
Yeah.
And how can you guarantee to me, like I'm a home buyer right now, right? How can you guarantee me it's going to expect all parts of my crawl space?
Well, I mean, we've got a live camera on it.
That was very derogatory. Sorry,
No,
sorry,
no.
potential home buyers.
You sound like most people.
So, yeah, I was going to say, some folks are at that level,
So I have a background in radio before. Like I used to be. I actually I'm interviewing Steve Norman in Omelette here in the future. He's my old coworker and friend. And a lot of times, like in my role, like being a influencer, a broadcaster, and because with a podcast and stuff like that, you constantly have to worry about like, because I'm a worrywart anyway, like what you say. So sometimes I worry about what I say. So anyway, but yeah, go ahead. The labor of love, the crawl space robot. What is this thing? Let's talk about that.
There
What is
you go.
that? Look
So
at this, whatever this thing is right here. She's going to talk about this thing.
that's a picture of
That thing.
a thermal imaging camera, actually. So that's a tool, super helpful tool that we use in all of our home inspections.
Okay.
Especially this time of year, right? We have
include it at no additional price.
Ooh.
and so we have those on both our trucks, and we both use them when we do inspections. But
Again, QR code.
it's really helpful this time of year, especially because it finds like gaps in insulation or spots where there's potential moisture intrusion, so that we can find spots in the walls or the floor where we need to double check it with a moisture meter, stuff that you can't see with your naked eye. It finds significant temperature differentials that we just wouldn't be able to see, even if you were just going around touching the walls. It's a really, really handy tool.
There's so many ways that we can use it that improves our level of inspection. I can scan the pressure tank with it. That shows me here's the general area of your air bladder, and here's the colder area, that's water.
I don't think you guys were giving yourself enough credit when it comes to things that separate you from your competition. Technology. Like, I don't know anybody that has these locally. I'm not aware of. Maybe you want to talk about it on the show. You want to be on the show. Come talk about some of your products that you have to offer when it comes to an inspection company. But these guys are the first ones to reach out to me. And man, oh man, that is definitely something that would spark my attention to want to use you in the future.
We've got sewer cameras. We're able to send a sewer camera down your septic line or your sewer line to ensure that there's no cracks, there's no breakage, there's no roots growing into your system. That's one of the things that isn't widely used currently either. We've got drones to be able to do overhead if we can't reach your roof. No big deal. We'll send a drone up. It gets better pictures than I do anyway.
And then that's really useful for this time of the year with snow and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
It absolutely is. You can see areas that way that you may have melted snow in an area that we shouldn't be seeing melted snow there. So we know that, hey, there's probably a lack of insulation in that area.
I gotcha. And a big thing this time of year, we got to get closing here soon, but the big thing this time of year is a dam ice, or what is that? Like
Ice dams.
Ice dams.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I don't want to get into all that today. Maybe another episode.
Ventilation and insulation.
Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about real quick?
No, I think I was just going to add to the, I don't know that we're always super good about talking about ourselves
Right.
necessarily, especially in comparison to other inspection companies. Because while I mean, we recognize that we're in competition with other inspection companies, but that's honestly not really how we look at it, right? We're more in competition with ourselves than anything else. We're trying to constantly improve, especially with the technology, but mostly just, like he said, trying to be good humans and provide good service to people. But we're, I think, our own biggest competitor every day when we get out of bed. We're like, hey, how can we do this better today?
Yeah. If that right there is where we're at today, well, I want tomorrow for us to be better than that. So by the time that's printed and we have that back in hand, we've already got more stuff we're doing. That's the idea.
Client's best interest, and the way you do that is with that mentality. MI Home North Inspections, Nikki and Matt Indish. Contact information, 231-944-5376, 231-944-5376. Scan this QR code. Actually, I think you could probably do that from a webisode, from a podcast episode, I'm assuming. Or check them out at mihomesnorth.com. This is Alex Eicher, TC Title Guy Podcast. Thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And please be sure to like and subscribe below. Everybody have a great day.
Thanks for having me.